Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports. This is the #1 place for all your fantasy content. We do the research, so you don't have to. But wait, so you don't play fantasy? We have you covered with all your F1, IPL, and UCL content. So head on over to the Fantasy Pavilion YouTube page, like, subscribe, stay connected with us. We have all the content you're looking for. Fix that team though and do better. The last year you were doing shaky. But this year we're doing better. We're doing better this year.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. And of course, we're here for another AFCON 2023 fantasy show. And not just fantasy, but of course, we're going to delve into all the action that took place. And of course, discuss the teams that are very close to qualifying, those that have already qualified, and those that are fighting for survival. And the names will shock you. This AFCON has been very, very good, especially for the underdogs. Great action, great for the neutrals like us who are not necessarily from the continent. But of course, we'll pick a team and go from there. But it's been great. It's been awesome so far. I've been enjoying the football on offer. We had a great game this morning between Morocco and what was the name? Let's see. Morocco and Cape Verde. It was a very good game. It ended 2-2. Great football. 1-0, sorry. Great football this morning. Congo, sorry. Yes, Morocco and Congo, sorry about that. 1-0. Then we had yesterday Tunisia and Mali going to a 1-0 draw. So a lot of great football. A lot of the big teams getting held back and being shown that they need to step up a notch to face off against these teams. And of course, I'm not doing it alone today. I'm joined by our great friend Latimus Prime from Sarcasm TV. Latimus.
What up, everyone? How's everyone doing?
Hey bud, thanks for coming through, bro. I know there's a game going on right. Would have just started. Of course, right now, Zambia is playing Tanzania right now, and then later on, you have South Africa, Namibia. So you just want to do this really, it's a nice quick roundup, go through all the action that took place, and then of course discuss a little fantasy. So round 2 would have taken place. Latimus, I don't want to get ahead of the discussion, but great result for Nigeria over the host. How shocked were you?
Very shocked. The way we defended throughout the game. In the first half, there was brilliant individual defensive displays from Tristan Kong, Ajayi, Aina, brilliant performance defensively.
Yes, was amazing. Correct.
Wambali, he had a brilliant game, and I think now he has to be our #1. 2 brilliant. In the first game, I know he conceded, but he didn't have much to do. The second game against Ivory Coast, pulled off big saves. He has to be our #1. Second half, we defended brilliantly as a collective. Everyone doing their job as a team for us to get secure the win. In an attacking sense, though, quite poor. Osimhen, he won the penalty, which was brilliant, but in front of goal, I think he missed a sitter before he got that penalty. Well, we wouldn't say a sitter, but in terms of him, a player of his ability,
his quality, correct.
Yeah, but again, I don't want this to make it out like I'm making excuses for him, but throughout the game, he was left very isolated. We were defending quite deep in a 5-4 and leaving him up on his own. I did the watch along on Sarcasm City TV on Twitch, and I kept saying at halftime, take off Samuel Chukwueze, who wasn't doing anything in the game. Bring on a midfielder such as Aribo, and push Iwobi further forward. Iwobi was playing in the midfield too. He had a brilliant game defensively, but in an attacking sense, Nigeria were quite poor. I would rather have pushed Iwobi forward, closer to Osimhen, so he would be able to actually find them, and maybe we could have got a second goal, because a team of Ivory Coast quality, all they needed was one big chance, and they might have scored. But we brilliantly to see out the game and get the result. And Nigeria fans, we're so happy and excited. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I've seen last tournament when no one expected us to beat Egypt. We beat them 1-0. We pocketed Mo Salah, and then Nigeria fans got excited, and we're saying that we can go and win AFCON, and we saw how that panned out. So I'm trying to temper expectations and kind of see where it goes. We played Guinea-Bissau in our final group game. I mean, we are technically already through, but I want to go and win that game and stamp our authority, particularly in an attacking sense. I mean, our defense has done its job against Ivory Coast, and if we did not win that game, if we had lost 1-0 or drew 0-0, I would have looked at the attack not doing anything. Against Guinea-Bissau, I need the attack to start turning up. I need Iwobi further forward. I need Lookman to start creating a lot more. I need Osimhen to start putting chances away now, because if we want to go far in this tournament, we saw our defense stand up against one of the tournament favorites. If we have to face a Senegal, for example, who have been on fire, can our defense shut Senegal out? Maybe, but we need our attack to show that we could go fire for fire with some of these guys if we want to try and win this tournament, which I don't believe we will. But yeah, I'm just happy. I don't want to, I don't know if you saw Nigerians on Twitter or on Instagram, on YouTube. Everyone was so happy and so together and
buzzing,
so united, and that's the first big result that's been able to unite Nigerian fans in a very, very long time.
And it was a good win. It was, of course, as you said, yes, you all won, but you can even look at the stats here. I know we don't try to put too much on stats, but you can see, and then if you watch the game, I watched it, of course, while you were live on Sarcasm. And Osimhen, for someone of his quality and for someone who was on everyone's lips during this transfer window, and of course, he'll be a big name in the summer. He was poor. He was poor. Even Iwobi, you could see that Iwobi, I must say, I give him credit for his performance in the sense that you could tell, what, we need to not concede. And I think sometimes when teams try that, they don't have a balance with the attack. They were trying not to concede, which of course no team wants to. But there's some teams that put so much that the attackers are helping out. And Iwobi was very good defensively. He really was breaking up play and whatnot. But going forward, trying to give service to Osimhen, which was lacking very badly. Osimhen did not look to his best. He looked way better in the first game for you guys. Way better than he did in this game.
And also something I would say is that as much as Osimhen is meant to be he's meant to be the go-to guy, the best player in Africa, I think too many times we play to him too much.
Yes,
it's always,
yes.
It seems, in this game, in the first game, it seems, and even previous games in the qualifying games, last AFCON, it seems, not last AFCON, the qualifiers for the World Cup. Put your head up and just find Osimhen at all costs, which I don't like, because it makes Nigeria way too predictable. And the attacking talent we have, at least on paper anyway, we should be able to do a lot more than just fling it to Osimhen and hope that he scores. That's something that, I know we'll get onto them later, but that's something that Egypt do a lot, where it's always find Mo Salah and hope he does something. And we saw in Egypt's game against Ghana, when Salah came off with his injury, Egypt became a lot more of a unit, a lot more of a team.
Correct.
I'm not saying we should take Osimhen out of the team, because we will need him, but we need to start playing as a collective instead of trying to find him. Sometimes go yourself because
Yeah,
you've got the
correct.
talent to be able to do that. You shouldn't always rely on Oshiman, and if he doesn't perform or if he misses a sitter, then Nigeria can't do anything because that's not fair on him either. Having the whole the whole country
The
on his
10 men on his
shoulders.
back. Correct, correct,
That's
correct.
not fair on him. So other players need to start stepping up.
Yeah, fully agree. Now, of course, we had a that same day, we had an electrifying result performance. It was a great result for Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea, for sure, now have a big two in the next round. And of course, we have to talk about one man and one man only on that day, Ensui with a hat trick, first hat trick of this year's AFCON tournament. Brilliant. Of course, one of them was in question. There was a possible offside, but it was given as a goal, and Equatorial Guinea winning 4-2. But of course, it was a very entertaining fixture. Guinea-Bissau was in it for a time, for a bit. They were in it, but Ensui and company made sure that they stayed out of it and that they were able to go over the line with a brilliant win. Wono, my goalkeeper, for my fantasy team, did well. Of course, you have Endong with one of the assists, Garnet with an assist, matching Miranda, solid midfielder for them, doing well. But Ensui, what, 34, 35 years old, I think? Latimus, I think 34, 35 years old, around that age group there, scoring a hat
Yeah,
trick and looking brilliant. That's what you wanted from Oshiman, no? That's what you want from Salah, you know? He looked brilliant in front
yeah.
of goal. He was clinical.
Yeah. That's a brilliant story as well. I mean, this guy, he plays right back for his for club football, but when he comes to his
Correct.
country, he plays up top as a striker. 34 years old, and then that's what I talk about. That's the magic of AFCON. AFCON is such a leveler that it can make the best some of the best players in the world, like an Oshiman, make him look average, and make someone like Emiliano Nsui looks he can bag a hat trick and look like one of the best strikers in the world. That's what this tournament can do, and not a lot of people like truly understand that. I saw because obviously it's a big game, Nigeria, Ivory Coast. I saw, and Oshiman's linked to Chelsea. He's linked to Arsenal. I saw a lot of Chelsea and Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, Oshiman, missing that sitter. Oh, he's not. Why is he worth 120 mil? He's not no striker." Saying things like Dominic Solanke's better than him, and I'm just saying, people don't truly understand what this tournament is about. You don't truly, you don't truly understand what this. So I've seen the greats play in this tournament. I keep saying this. I've seen the greats play in this tournament, and they struggled and they failed to live up to expectations. So let's, but it's a brilliant story for him, and it's brilliant for Equatorial Guinea. That result really shocked me. I was not expecting 4-2. Like, it really, really did shock me. But it helps. That result helped Nigeria. Nigeria. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Of course. And looking forward now, looking at the group, so Equatorial Guinea on top with 4 points. They have the better goal difference. Nigeria second with 4 points. Ivory Coast third with 3. And of course, Guinea-Bissau running off the group with 0 points at the bottom. Now, going into this game, of course, we like to always talk about history. Guinea-Bissau have the better results against Equatorial Guinea. I think this is the first time they beat them in a little while. So this was a very good result from Equatorial Guinea. And solid 4 points. And now they just have to hold on against Ivory Coast. We'll see what they could do. But definitely, they just need a draw. I think if they get at least a draw and you all beat Guinea-Bissau, I think that everything should level off there at the end. Yeah. So that should be a good game. That should be a that group is still up for grabs. Still up for grabs.
Yeah, it is. Right? But that also shows Ivory Coast. I mean, Ivory Coast now they need to win that final group game against Equatorial Guinea. And Equatorial Guinea, they're not, they won't be an easy team. Nigeria showed that when we played them in the first group game, we didn't show them the respect that they obviously deserved, and we were able to get away with the draw. So it'll be very interesting that the host nation, surely they can't get knocked out in the group stage.
Well, it looks like it's very close to happening, especially if Equatorial Guinea stay on task and stay as sharp as they are. It definitely could happen. So, and Ivory Coast needs to back up in front of goals. So we'll see. And all that takes place tomorrow. So we'll see. We will know very soon. Literally in 24 hours, we'll know. All right. Of course, the next game, Adamus, brilliant. The other game we're going to, of course, round up and review. Egypt facing Ghana. Now, going into this, of course, both teams had some indifferent results. So they definitely were chasing a win, needed a win to keep their hopes alive of staying in the tournament. Of course, don't forget the best third place teams. I think the best 4 third place teams also go on to the next round, the next knockout rounds. So a lot of teams still have a chance, even though their start might be dismal. They need to get some good victories, and Ghana and Egypt were in that category. And then 2-2. And of course, Salah was a bit invisible and he picked up an injury. We, of course, wish him a speedy recovery. We know people that play FPL will be worried and concerned, and they'll be hoping he comes back soon and fit. But the big story of that day, Latimus, of course, West Ham's magical man. And of course, I'm talking about no other than Kudus. Back fit in the team. We don't even know if he was 100% fit, because I was shocked he stayed on as long as he did. I thought he would have taken him off, because, especially, you don't want to risk further injury or, further niggling. I understand, but Kudus did a wonderful job, scored a brace. But it still was not enough to get Ghana over the line, Latimus. This was a crazy game.
Yes, it was. I said going into the game that if he starts, then Ghana have a chance. Yes. And I actually expected him to play in the first game against Cape Verde. I didn't know he had an injury or a knock going into the tournament. He is just he's just electric. He's amazing to watch. It's such a shame that or such a wonder, I should say, that in the summer all the the big money signings that Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal made, and no one looked at Kudus. But yeah, he's phenomenal. Brace. Egypt, they this is something Liverpool fans won't like this, but this is something I say about Mo Salah. What he's done for Liverpool cannot be, undermined. He's been phenomenal for them. But in terms of his country, he more often than not, he doesn't turn up in the big moments when it's needed. And again, people can say he got injured, but up until that injury, he wasn't really doing much, and Egypt didn't have much of a threat. He comes off, and I said this on the watch along that you'll see, that Egypt will get, the game will end up in a draw. Egypt will come into the game, which they did. But yeah, it was from a neutral perspective, especially in the second half. Neutral, it was a brilliant game to watch. I think probably I would say. Alongside Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, those two are, I would say, are the games of the knockout rounds in terms of just pure footballing entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah,
from an entertainment perspective. But yeah, it's now all to play for now, because Cape Verde, they're done, they're through. They play Egypt in the final game, in the final group game. You would think Cape Verde might rotate and play a slightly weakened side. So Egypt might then have a bit of a chance to go through. But But who knows? Maybe Egypt want to finish off the group stage in style, and they might
Yes.
play a strong side. So who actually knows? And with Ghana, they face Mozambique. Um, they have to beat Mozambique if they want to stand a chance of getting out of this group. But Mozambique also know that if they beat Ghana, they have a chance of coming out of the group as well. So it's still all to play for, and it'll be very, very, very interesting. Be very, very interesting to watch. I think those games are all taking place. They're all taking place at the same time tomorrow at 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m.
Yes,
UK time.
correct. Yeah, triple
I don't
headers,
know
yeah.
I don't know how people are gonna do it. You'll be flicking between both games, but it'll be very,
Yeah,
very interesting. And
four
yeah,
TVs, need three TVs.
yeah, you need two different TVs. For me, I'm Nigerian, so of course I would want Ghana to go out, but I don't know. I don't know. It's for me. It's just it's a very interesting group, and a group where going into the tournament, you would think it would be quite straightforward. But
Yes.
AFCON, anything can happen.
This is AFCON. This is AFCON. As you keep saying, this is AFCON. No straightforward. Nothing. No such thing as straightforward. Nothing like that. And just breaking news, of course, Tanzania went up 1-0 in the 11th minute through Simon Nsuva, hope I'm saying that correct, and he was assisted by Samata. So Tanzania up 1-0. What does that mean for their group? Well, Tanzania will be second for now. They will have 3 points and they'll be second so far. So that's what that means right now. Tanzania will be second, right behind Morocco. Of course, Morocco would have won today, but we'll get into that. So if this stays as is, Tanzania would stay up because they already lost the opening game. So they will be second with Morocco if this stays as is. Zambia, if they win, definitely will have a big toe in the next round because they drew their first game. So they definitely be chasing that win to try and get 4 points. So we, of course, keep you abreast of how that game is going while we are live. All right. Next. So, of course, as I said, exciting tournament, great football on hand, great results as well. It's not straightforward. Another one, as you mentioned, we already mentioned Cape Verde. So Cape Verde defeating Mozambique 3-0. Solid from Cape Verde. Cape Verde, I think they were the first team to qualify for the knockout rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think they were the first one to qualify.
Yes, they are the first team to qualify the knockouts. Yes.
Yep. Great from them. Of course, Pena scoring, Mendes with a goal as well, Bebe with the penalty. Solid from them. Mozambique, nothing. Expected a bit more fight from Mozambique. I mean, it wasn't super straightforward for Cape Verde, but Cape Verde were they did keep command of the game. They also protected their lead. They had good game management, saw the game out. Of course, penalty shouts always cause for some drama, but they held on, did their thing, and of course qualified, and the celebrations were electric. Very happy for Cape Verde. Solid from them, of course. What does that mean for their table? Well, as we just said, Cape Verde were the first team to qualify for the knockout rounds. They are now first with 6 points. Egypt is second with 2, right? With 2 points. Ghana second with 1, and Mozambique second with 1. So that's a crazy group. You know, as Latimus just said, on paper, no one would have looked at a group with Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, and Mozambique and think that right now Egypt and Ghana are fighting for their lives right now. So
the fact that Cape Verde are top and the round of 16, in theory, they will get an easier easier draw.
Yes.
So
yes, correct.
Potentially, they could already be in the quarterfinals. It's very, very interesting for them. It's a brilliant story what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly that. That's a good point. So yeah, so definitely, as I said, definitely a great watch. It's a great watch. AFCON has been a very good watch so far. Can't complain for the action on display. And of course, one of the other teams that have qualified because of their brilliant, I must say, clinical performances in front of goal, Senegal. Senegal would have beaten Cameroon 3-1 And of course, every game that Cameroon plays in Latimus, they always find Eto's angry face on camera. Eto must be so upset because Cameroon could be facing elimination quicker than Egypt, quicker than the other big boys. But we'll see. Of course, big up Senegal. Star again with another great performance, a goal and assist. Diallo with a goal. Mane, my captain in my fantasy, with a goal. I am very happy because I survived not having Oshimen Ladamus. I survived not having Mo Salah, and my captain came up with a goal. Happy days. Of course, there were some guys with Ensui. Ensui was a defender in the game. So I can't fight for that one, 21 points. But I'm still happy with my return from Mane and big up Sa. And the other Sa with an assist. So solid from them. And of course, can't take away the fact that Cameroon did at least bag a goal. Castellito with a goal. Thoughts on this particular one, Ladamas? Senegal do anything looking like defending champions. Sometimes a lot of tournaments, there's a curse, especially World Cup. Sometimes Champions League defending teams don't always look good, but Senegal starting strong and showing that why they are continuing to be favorites to win this for a second straight time. Ladamas.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had Senegal down as favorites, so one of the favorites. I had them down too, but I was also a bit skeptical. As you said, defending champions, will they stick up to that tag? How will their tactics or the way of playing change? And that first group game they played, I know they won, but it was quite close. They weren't always comfortable, but they did enough as champions to see the game out. But against Cameroon, they were just methodical, clinical, and they did what you would expect of a big nation going up against a team sort of in disarray. Senegal or Cameroon, they've got a lot of issues and problems themselves. They're missing their best player, Abubakar, due to injury. They've got the Onana situation going on, and just kind of the way they're ran in terms of their FA and their organization. It's a bit of a mess. Samuel Eto'o, I know he's I think he's their president of their FA. Yes, and I know he's correct. A legend of the game. I know he's a Cameroonian legend, but he should not be going into the dressing room at halftime and being part of team talks. That shouldn't not be happening.
Correct.
I understand he's passionate. He loves the country and he wants what's best, but he shouldn't be that deeply involved. And I think Cameroon just need a bit of a revamp because there is talent in that squad. But yeah, all credit to Senegal, and I'll be very interested if they can actually, retain it. Because when I look at the other nations who you'd probably say could be favorites or could be amongst favorites, Morocco, they don't look that comfortable all out. I know that they can defend, but on the offensive side of things, they don't look that great. Obviously Egypt, they might not get out of the group. Ghana, they may not get out of the group. Ivory Coast, they potentially might not make it out of the group. Nigeria, they don't look like they're all there, especially particularly on the attacking sense. Senegal are the only favorites that are actually seem like they're ready to play and they're ready to win it. So yeah, they might just end up walking this tournament again. Again, AFCON is not always that easy to predict, but Senegal are there. They're ready. They're actually showing up. So
yeah, solid. And of course, as you said, they are the only ones that are keeping up to the bidding, keeping up to the hype. Because going into this tournament, it would have been, of course, Senegal, Morocco, Egypt, Ivory Coast, and Nigeria would have been like the names on your lips, especially looking at their teams on paper, the players that they have. And a lot of their players are doing well for their respective leagues, their respective teams, right? Forget those that play in EPL. There are a lot of other guys playing across Europe and, of course, in Africa. and doing well. So based on that, you would tell yourself, well, all right, a lot of these other teams would have held up to the bidding. But you're right, Morocco, as much as Morocco, solid team, did great in the World Cup, of course. They were under the custody. We, of course, will discuss that when we come down, when we get closer to their game. But Morocco, right now, it looks like Hakimi is their best striker or best attacker right now. Hakimi had a real good game today, but you're expecting better from the other teams. A team that I am looking at, I know they didn't have a great start, but the team that I am looking at maybe as outside shouts, maybe Algeria. Only because they are getting the best out of their striker, but we'll talk about them when we get there. But as you said, Senegal are the only team right now that are keeping up to the hype and the bidding and look like they could steamroll their way right through to the finals and potentially win the cup again. So we'll see. We'll keep a close eye on them, of course. Next up, of course, we had Guinea getting a very vital win over Gambia. Big win, did their thing. Cameroon with the goal, holding on tight. Gambia tried their best through everything at Guinea, right? It was a very good game. I enjoyed watching this game. But Guinea, doing what they had to do to hold on. And that result means that they are now second behind Senegal with 4 points. So Group C, Senegal with 6 points. First, of course, Guinea second with 4 points. Cameroon with 1 point and Gambia with 0 points. So Gambia, albeit out of the tournament, Cameroon have to win their next game, their last game, which is against Gambia, to have a chance. And they have to hope that Senegal beat Guinea-Bissau, which on paper is most likely to happen. Will Senegal do the typical thing, Latimus and rest players? I doubt it. I think they want to stamp their authority and steamroll each team at the face. I don't know what you think, Latimus. You think they'll rest players or they'll go hard?
I mean, Senegal are already through. And the thing about Senegal, even if they rest a few players, their squad depth is very interesting. I mean, I'm assuming Mane won't play the final group game. They've got they've got Nicholas Jackson to come off the left. I expect him to start.
Correct.
Jackson has had a very good season so far for Chelsea. They've got Cheku Kouyaté on the bench. They've got the likes of they've got Idris Gueye. They've got good depth in their team. So even if they do change things up, I expect them at minimum not to lose their final group game.
Yeah, solid. Big up Guinea going through. As I said, Creed, this is AFCON. This is AFCON. I don't be surprised at Dark Horse. You never know. From just one game, big final, could nick it. They could. So it'll be very interesting to see. We might even have a team that have never won the cup lift up the cup. That is how it's looking so far. Very interesting. I would have just spoken about Algeria. So Algeria took on Burkina Faso 2-2 on Saturday, going there. I just mentioned him, Bunja or Bunja. I hope I'm saying that correct. Ladamas, if you want to help me pronounce, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't want to mess it up. It's Baghdad Bunja, I think is his name. Of course, with a brace against Burkina Faso, Kanate and Traore scoring for Burkina Faso.
Yes, no, you're pronouncing his name correctly. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Of course, Algeria, as I said, outside favorites. So I didn't say this in the first episode, but as the tournament progresses, I'm looking and I'm scribbling and scrolling, making notes. I'm like, all right, Algeria looking okay. I have to remind people, and I think you mentioned it on your stream for Sarcasm TV. Let's remind people, Argentina lost their first game to Saudi Arabia and won the World Cup. Yes, it's Argentina, they have Messi, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking about into the grand scheme of things. I'm not comparing players in the grand scheme of things. So we've seen that the first result means nothing. It's what you do with the rest of the games. So Algeria could definitely move on, hold on. You never know. They're scoring the goals, but they're just not winning the games. They have to try and hold on to win. But Burkina Faso doing their thing. What does that mean for that group? So that group, very interestingly, so Angola on top, we talked about Angola just now. Burkina Faso have 4 points and Algeria have 2 points. So they still have a chance if they could hold on to win their next game, which is against Mauritania on Tuesday. That'll be 5 points, and that could potentially see them finish as third best. You never know. But Algeria, not looking too bad. Burkina Faso, a point was enough for them to keep them in the tournament. Thoughts on this one, Latimus? You have any hopes for Algeria, or you think no, not doing enough?
No, I actually disagree with what you're saying about Algeria. I don't think they look. Um, I think they kind of look off it. They won. Yeah, they won AFCON 2 tournaments ago. I think their generation, their golden generation, has kind of passed them by.
Right.
They've played. This is a group where Angola, Burkina Faso, Mauritania. This is a group where they should quite easily be getting out of it. I know I said when we did the last review that I said when they face Burkina Faso, it will be quite difficult for them. But still, the fact that they only have 2 points so far is very telling. They're third in the group. They could potentially not even make it out of it. I think it's quite disappointing. They're underperforming expectations. And I think now, maybe their like golden generation, quote unquote, has passed them by. Yeah, that's just what I think.
No, fair. I can't vex with that. I understand what you're saying, but I'm watching them play. They're just not getting over the line, but they're right there. You never know. They might peak at the right time. If they qualify, you never know. You never know. But you're right, based on, and especially players that they have. Look at this team. Look at this team. If you're someone that follows football, Bentaleb, Feguli, and even going to say, call the winger that used to play for City, and even calling his name, Aid Nouri, right? They have some solid players. But they are one of the few teams that are getting their strikers to score on a continuous, consistent basis so far, because a lot of teams are struggling with that right now. So big up Bunja, he's doing well. But let's see, we'll see. Of course, Burkina Faso doing their thing, and they could potentially be into the next round. So we'll of course keep a close watch and see how that goes. And this was a big game, and Algeria should definitely be concerned. Of course, they will licking their lips last game against Mauritania, but Mauritania have proven that they can score goals. And this game was particularly close and tight, and Angola did enough to hold on 3-2 in Angola's favor. Gilberto with a goal, Dalla with a brace, and then of course Mauritania had Koita and Amar scoring. Big game. Angola doing their thing to hold on and to potentially be into the next round. So of course we'll pay close attention to that, and we'll see how Algeria fares against Mauritania, because they are scoring goals, and if you don't score goals, you don't have a chance to win the game. Of course, big one. My prediction was not correct for this one. Was not correct for this one. I think you predicted a draw, Tunisia win for this one, Ladamas. Of course, Tunisia 1-0 against my team for the tournament. Mali, of course, Sanayoko again scoring 2-2, and then of course Rafael scoring for Tunisia. This one was not as exciting as I thought. I almost felt like if both teams played for the draw. I could be wrong. I don't want to be that guy, Ladamas, but let me know what you think.
Yeah, I think maybe Tunisia definitely did. They're a team, like I said on the last show that we did, that they can cause an upset against a big side. They're the team that knocked Nigeria out of the last AFCON in the round of 16. So I expected them to be able to do a job against this Mali side. And this is a Mali side that, when we spoke on the last stream that we did, you were telling me about the talent. And me looking through the squad, Tunisia took them very seriously. And but Mali, they're still top. They're still around 4 points. They're still top. They're gonna make it out. I shouldn't see any hiccups or any worries going into their final group game with Namibia.
Yeah, and the thing is, as you said, you mentioned Namibia. So of course Mali on top with 4 points, Namibia Second with 3, and Tunisia with 1 point. So Tunisia have it all to do to at least try and get 4 points to see if they can qualify as the third best or even second. You never know if Mali do what they have to do against Namibia. So, of course, some big games to come there. But as I said, Mali, they're my team. For instance, the last AFCON, I've been watching them, paying attention, and they are playing very well. But Tunisia were able to stop them from their scoring onslaught. Mali are very consistent with the goal scoring. So let's see what they could do against Namibia Wednesday. And of course, Tunisia face South Africa. Some very, very big games coming up. We'll see. But Mali so far should, as Latimer said, qualify. I have no doubts that they should qualify. Of course, the next game, well, that was today, earlier today, we had Morocco face off against Congo. Very interesting result, of course. On paper, you could say, yeah, man, Morocco would win easy peasy, but Congo was a late, well, not too late, but a late winner in extra time because Morocco were all over them. But as Latimus has been saying from before, the attack has not been too hot. Akimi has been playing better than most of the other strikers. Akimi was up top whole game, right through. And of course, Congo were able to finally apply some pressure through these substitutes and get that vital win. And I'm sorry, equalizer. Sorry, it was a very good game to watch. It was end-to-end action, and Vumpa with the goal, and of course Hakimi with the goal for Morocco. And what does that mean for the table? So of course Morocco are on top right now with 4 points. As I said before, Tanzania right now up 1-0 against Zambia. So they are now second, and DR Congo are third with 2 points. They continue to remain undefeated, but winless so far in the tournament. And Congo needs to win their last game to at least have a chance. They face Tanzania, and of course Zambia will face Morocco on Wednesday. Morocco, at least on top, Latimer. So they should be okay, should be fine.
Yeah, they should be. Against the game, I watched. Obviously, I watched the game. Against Morocco, against Congo.
Congo.
The first half was obviously they got the goal. Brilliant corner from Ziyech and great finish from Makimi. But the first half was kind of tepid, I would say. The second half really suited Morocco. Like we saw from the World Cup, Morocco are very happy to let you have the ball for them to sit back, soak up pressure, which they did very well actually against Congo. I think that suited going into the game. That probably was their game plan to try and get the goal as quickly as they can, and they'll sit and soak up as much pressure, try to hit you on the counter attack. Congo had a few chances getting in behind in the second half, but it was either brilliant last-ditch blocks from our guys or brilliant saves from Bono. The incident that happened resulted in their penalty. It was a penalty. Unfortunate for Baka. What happened to him? I hope he hope he's gonna be okay.
Cover soon. Correct.
Yeah. VAR again being shown in the tournament. Didn't have to be a whole mess for it to work. Didn't even take that long for the referee to even check it. He went over. I think it took maybe a minute or two. The whole process, it was done, sorted. Not like the Premier League where we're still asking of where the line's being drawn. The referee looked at the incident. He looked at a few angles, came back, penalty, all done, nice and easy. But yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed Morocco's game plan, but because you saw, they took off Ziyech, they took off Boufal, and they're very happy to give Congo the ball and just sit and defend.
Yes.
But once Congo scored, once Congo then once Congo then got into the game and they scored, it was a little too late. Morocco had no sort of firepower to get back into the game. And also, let me just say that penalty from Bakambu.
You missed, correct. Terrible.
Horrific.
Terrible.
I don't know what was he nervous? Like did the stage get to him? Was he a bit nervous? Like why is he taking the penalty if that's the case? Why it should have gone to Kakuta or Wissa, because that sort of
I was thinking Wissa to take that. Exactly.
Yeah, Wissa, he's Premier League, he plays in the Prem, he's used to playing on stages. I don't know. That if he had scored that 1-1 at that stage in the game, at the in the first half, who knows? Maybe Congo go on and they win the game. Who knows? But
yes,
it's just kind of unfortunate, and it's in that moment that could be the difference to maybe Congo not making it out of the group. It's fine margins.
Yes, you're right. And Congo, as you rightly said, you never know. Of course, you can't predict anything, but 1-1, and then the way that Congo went for it in the second half. Yes, it played into Morocco's hands. We could have just countered them, or Morocco would have said, all right, we could hold on to 1-0 against them. But Congo went for it. They went full pelt. They were really trying, but they weren't as clinical. And we certainly played a little deeper and was trying to just win the ball and was passing off. I wish it was the opposite way. I think if Wissa was more advanced and someone was feeding him the ball, things would have been a little different, because clinical he could be when ready. But I must, a lot of these teams, when they have these big talisman, these guys, they tend to drop deep. We see it with Mali and Senegal. They drop deep and they like to just do the distribution. I didn't even know Wissa had that in his locker. He did very well with that. Of course, his final ball, Morocco were able to defend. I must say, Ogad from West Ham.
Yeah.
He defended brilliantly. He was everywhere. So Morocco did their thing, but not enough to get over the line. Will that hurt them? I doubt, but we'll see. Again, this is AFCON. They're on top. Thankfully, the other results are going their way, because if Tanzania win, that will work better for them, or at least if it ends in a draw, that will work out good for Morocco. They won't have anyone breathing down their necks. Zambia have it all to do. Zambia must win so that they can at least be very close to automatically qualifying. Have to win. So we'll see. And of course, that ends up our roundup. As we said, so far, Tanzania are up 1-0. That will see them second. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that plays off. If that stays as is, then of course, Tanzania will be third. And of course, we saw that I'm seeing now someone got a red card. Kabwe for Zambia got a red card. So that could make things very interesting now. And we've seen what happens. A lot of teams haven't been able to take advantage of the deficit. So we'll see what that does. So Tanzania 1, Zambia 0. And of course, later down the last game for the day, we have South Africa coming up against Namibia. Big game for South Africa. They have to do it all to try and stay within the tournament. So we'll see how that goes and how they fare. Let's just take a quick touch. Now let's take a quick look. So a quick fire round of predictions. Latimus, if you don't mind, we'll just look at round 3 coming up and we'll just make some quick predictions, right? That's all we'll do. Some nice quick predictions here. So let's bring up the games. All right. So of course, round 3 kicks off tomorrow. We're just going to do quick fire predictions. All right. So of course, Equatorial Guinea on top, facing the host, could eliminate the host. Big game. What's your predictions for this one?
Equatorial Guinea versus Ivory Coast. Surely they can't get knocked out. Surely Ivory Coast cannot get knocked out. I think I'm gonna say draw. I'm gonna say
okay. And I agree with you. I'm gonna say 2-2. What score you say though?
Yeah, no, I agree. 2-2.
Okay, good with that. Moving right along. Guinea-Bissau versus Nigeria. Nigeria, of course, second with 4 points. Guinea-Bissau, no points at all. But they could ruin Nigeria's party, depending on how that first game goes. How you seeing this one? Nigeria shocked you Ladamus, they surprised you. They made the whole of Nigeria happy, brought Nigeria together. Can they do it again against Guinea-Bissau? Do they have enough firepower? Can they break up Guinea-Bissau's defense and qualify with 7 points? What say you?
Yes, I'm gonna say win. I'm gonna say we win.
All right, and
So this
don't be
this
frightened.
this is the
Score.
game.
What's score?
This is a game. This is a game where our strikers, our forwards, they start to click. This
Okay,
has to be the game that start to click. If we want to get serious about potentially winning AFCON, this is the game they need to start clicking and showing that we've got a force for people to be wary of. So yeah, this is the game. Oshimen, Lookman, Awobi, everyone. This is the game they all need to
correct. Onyeka. All right, I say 2-0 Nigeria. What say you?
I'm gonna say 3-1 Nigeria.
Okay, love it. Cape Verde already qualified, comfortable. We could rest players. We don't have to chase this game, risk injury. They could rock back. Cape Verde versus Egypt. What say you on this one? What result you have for this one?
Cape Verde, Egypt. Egypt win comfortably. 3-0 Egypt.
Okay. I want to contradict you there. I want to come to. I want to say.
Actually,
Cape
no,
Verde.
not 3-0. Sorry, not 3-0. I'll say 2-1. Not 3-0.
Okay,
I'll say
I
2.
was gonna say. I think a cheeky 1-0 Cape Verde. Right? And we will go back to these predictions. Thankfully, we have it all recorded. We will go back to these predictions. Mozambique.
Are you saying? Sorry, are you saying Cape Verde will play a strong side or a rotated side?
No, I think what they'll do, even if they rest players, I don't think they'll rest in the defense. I think they'll defend well, right? And I think they'll at least hold on because as much as they qualified, right? And we've seen this strategy. We safe, home and dry. We can't get knocked out. We are going through. Let's just preserve our players. I think what they will do is a smart thing and just frustrate Egypt, and they can get a cheeky 1-0. And there's no reason why they can't bring off someone off the bench, even though he's rested for last 10 minutes and terrorize Egypt. So I think a cheeky 1-0, even a draw, but 1-0. I'm sticking with 1-0 Cape Verde.
The reason why I'm going with a Egypt win is because we saw in that game against Ghana that, particularly without Mo Salah, Egypt have a better balance to them as a team.
Correct.
They're a little more and I think if assuming Salah is injured, so he will be missing this game. I think it will unite them together, and they will be able to actually go forward and actually attack better and start scoring. The attackers that Egypt possess. The attackers that Egypt possess. Omar Marmoush. The likes of Mustafa Mohammed. These are good attackers. Trezeguet. These are good attackers. I think they win. I think 2-1. Again, right. Cape Verde are still assuming they keep their defensive structure intact and the defensive players. It'll be a difficult team to break down. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but Egypt, considering it's a must-win game, I think they'll come together and they'll be able to get over the line.
All right. We'll see. Right. I'm very curious to see what happens there. And of course, moving right along, so we have Mozambique versus Ghana. Ghana, another team that needs to do their best to try and stay alive in the competition. Mozambique as well, both at the bottom of the table, 3rd and 4th. Ghana 3rd, Mozambique 4th. So definitely a battle to try and stay in. Now, if Cape Verde beat Egypt and either one wins, they will definitely go through. Interesting one. Mozambique. Wow, how we see this one going?
Mozambique versus Ghana. Mozambique versus Ghana. Mohamed Kudus playing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say win. Ghana win.
Okay. Yeah. I think I agree with you on that one. I'm gonna say 2-0 Ghana.
Yeah, yeah. Same. 2-0 Ghana.
Yeah. I can see Kudus having a good time here. But we'll see. Mozambique have it all to play for as well. They will know that they are not out of it yet.
Oh,
And they can
interesting. So that would put um if Egypt win, that would put them on 5 points. And if
correct.
Ghana win, that will put them on 4. Ooh. So
Yes.
Ghana might
Yes.
qualify based
Yes.
on best third place. Interesting.
Best third place. Correct. Exactly. Even Mozambique. That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting. If Cape Verde
Yeah.
win, it'll be that will make things even more interesting if Cape Verde win. So they will be hoping that Egypt beat Cape Verde. Sorry. Most teams will be hoping that Cape Verde win, beat Egypt so that Ghana, Mozambique, either one, or only one could have a chance, obviously, to go through. Right? So you'll see. Oh, you never know. It could be crazy enough where that if Cape Verde beat Ghana if Cape Verde, beat Egypt by, let's say, a 4-0 or 3-0 scoreline. Just saying, just being the devil's advocate, and Ghana still draw at Mozambique. On goal difference, Ghana could qualify second. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Because Egypt, so Ghana have to at least draw a 2-all. I'm just saying, Egypt have to lose 4-0 or at least 5. It's crazy. I just call it craziness, a crazy scenario here. And Ghana can still qualify with 2 points. It's mad. It's crazy. It's crazy. But of course, we never know. This is AFCON. But I'm just calling out all the different scenarios that could take place. Right. So Ghana 2-0 there. Of course, Guinea playing Senegal, the daunting task of trying to get a win or a point here from Senegal. Senegal are very selfish right now. Even with goals, only conceding 1 goal so far in the tournament. Senegal, Guinea, see, even with a rested team, as you said, maybe Senegal win this 2-1, maybe 2-1 or even 2-0. 2-0. I'll stick with 2-0. Senegal 2-0. And of course, qualify with 9 points.
Ooh, Senegal. I mean, they might be the only team, well, them potentially Cape Verde, to qualify on 9 points.
Correct. Good point. Very good point. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Ooh,
And most
so,
players have.
yeah. So Senegal, yeah, I expect them to do the business against Guinea. Nicholas Jackson, hopefully he gets a goal. He's looking good. I think the third goal Senegal scored against Cameroon, he was involved in the build-up play. He got the
Instrumental.
Yeah, so hopefully he plays in that third game and he scores. So yeah, I'm going Senegal. Senegal win. I'm going. I mean, based off of the 3 games that they've played, they've scored 3 goals in each. So it has to be 3 goals again. They score. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go 3 now.
Well, I'm saying 2-0, no problem. Gambia versus Cameroon. Big game. Big game. Of course, Cameroon are all, because they're not out yet, but they have to hope that Senegal beat Guinea and Cameroon have to beat Gambia. Of course, Gambia have not scored any goals yet in the tournament. Cameroon have scored 2 goals so far. So the goal scoring is not that great. I want to say, I think 1-1. I think Cameroon get knocked out of the tournament. I think 1-1.
I think Gambia. I mean, you said Gambia haven't scored yet, right?
No, they haven't scored as yet.
They haven't scored, but they haven't faced Onana yet. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Gambia win. I'm gonna say Gambia win.
Oh Lord, terrible that was, and I can't even terrible. But that doesn't hurt me. I'm not a Man U fan. Terrible. Murit, how do you pronounce your name properly? Is it Maritime Murit? How do you pronounce this correctly? Adamas?
Mauritania.
It's Mauritania. Okay, Mauritania versus Algeria. As we said, Algeria on 2 points. Let me bring up the table here, right? So Mauritania on 0 points, Algeria on 2 points. Algeria have scored 3 goals so far. Mauritania have scored 2. So they're both okay in front of goal, but Algeria's striker is on fire right now. Bunaja is on fire. So maybe Algeria do what they have to do. They have to win to get 5 points, have to win. And Gola and Guinea-Bissau could draw and have 5 points, and then things will be very interesting. It'll come down to head and goal difference. So all the top 3 teams could finish on 5 points. Crazy scenario in this group. And that could see Algeria, whoever dropped the third or stay in third, if Algeria stays third because of goal difference, they can potentially qualify as one of the best groups, because 5 points, I think, should be enough. If we take a quick gander at all the rest of the teams that are third in their groups, 5 points should be more than enough. So, but Algeria, of course, have to get the win first to, of course, open that door, to make that scenario possible. I am going to say that Algeria wins this game 2-0. 2-0. I think, actually, I'll make it interesting. I think it'll be a very interesting one. Mauritania have to throw everything at them because they still have a slight outside chance. 3-2 Algeria. 3-2, and I need Bunaja to score a hat-trick. So 3-2 Algeria in Algeria's favor, and they go through on 5 points.
Ooh. But 3-2 Algeria, 3 on 5 points.
Yeah. 3-2, go through on. Yeah, 5 points will be enough. It'll be enough, no matter what. It'll be enough.
True. I'm gonna go with a draw.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a draw. I'm going to say, I'm gonna go with the draw. I'm gonna say 3-3.
All right. And I can see that because, of course, as we said, they're both scoring the clinical. All right. Wow. 3-3. I can't wait for that game if it goes that way. Angola, Burkina Faso are going to go straight on say 0-0. I think both teams know what they have to. They know that they're safe-ish no matter what happens. But, of course, they're only safe if they get 1 point or more. So, but I think, of course, Burkina Faso will go for it and they'll try to win. But I think this will be a 0-0 draw. I think 0-0. Both teams will be defensive and try not to lose. That's the mean, or concede. That will be the big thing here. Trying not to concede. Once they don't concede, stays a draw, they go through automatically, no matter what. So I see 0-0 for this game.
Yeah. I'm going draw as well. I'm going 1-1.
All right, solid. Namibia versus Mali. My team back in Mali, of course, through this tournament. Big game. Mali on top with 4 points, Namibia second with 3. So, of course, both teams can't afford to rest players, right? Something key to know there. They cannot afford to rest players yet. They have to go fit and secure because they're not fully safe. Tunisia, if they win their game, could jump up second or even first. You never know. So, Namibia and Mali is a very good one. Of course, Mali have scored 3 goals so far. Namibia have scored 1 goal so far. So, but I'm giving Mali the edge. I think Mali could win 2-0. I think Mali could win this game 2-0 and go through on 7 points.
Mali. Yeah, I'm saying Mali win as well. I'm saying Mali win. And Mali win. They'll go through on 7 points. I'm going to say 1-0 Mali.
All right, solid. South Africa faced Tunisia. Of course, Africa are going to play just now, later today. So we won't know yet how they do, but I give it Tunisia the edge based on the form so far. I think Tunisia could win that, but I think it'll be a 2-0 Tunisia.
2-0 Tunisia.
Yeah, 2-0.
I'm gonna go with draw.
Okay.
1-1.
Okay. 1-1. I hopefully Tao scores. I'm keeping Tao in my team. Hopefully he scores. Tanzania versus DR Congo. Well, we see Tanzania can't score. We see Congo can't score. I think this game will end in a draw as well. I think 2-2.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Tanzania versus DR Congo. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1-1.
Yeah. Okay, solid. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Morocco on top of their table should win. I'm going to give them a 2-0 win over Zambia.
Morocco 2-0 on over Zambia, you think?
Yes.
Morocco, actually, how was the group lining up?
So how is so far Morocco on top? So Morocco on top with 4 points. Tanzania right now second with 3. Congo third with 2, and Zambia last with 1 point. So of course, if Zambia can at least scrape a point today against Tanzania, they'll be on 2, and then if they beat Morocco, they'll be on 5. So it's very tight.
2-0 Morocco.
All right, solid. Right, and that's our predictions, of course, for the upcoming round 3, the final games for the group. Big games to come. Big, and of course, we can see a lot of big teams being knocked out of the of AFCON, and a few dark horses remaining. So it's going to be very interesting football coming up, and of course, no doubt, entertaining. The football has been great so far. So just before we go, I just want to show you guys how I've been doing in the fantasy quick, and then give you some of my my plans. So of course, as you can see, solid showing everyone so far. I wanted to bring in Sai. No, I didn't bring in Sai. I brought in Bunaja as well. Bunaja scored a brace. I brought in Kamori for my Mali representation there, 6 points. So all my midfielders did well. I'm just waiting on Tau to do something. For me, I captain Mane. Thank you, Mane. Kabori and Akimi coming up trumps for me. Owono with 4 points. The only spill thing, Ladamus, Mamouche on the bench with 10. But we don't cry for that. We move on. We move on. But solid showing from my team. Way better than the first round. And I outscored my first round score. I'm on 77. I've jumped up to 7th in our league, our YouTube league, the Fantasy Pavilion Rabs League. I'm 7th. I was 20-something, Ladamus. I jumped all the way up to 7th. So loving it. And still have Tau to play. Hopefully Tau can convert his penalties and convert his goals. Ladamus score a brace. Hopefully, but yeah, this is how I'm looking so far. So a great improvement so far on the first round, Ladamus. I don't know if there's any names here that's shocking you, that any recommendations based on what's coming up. Anybody you think I should bring in for round 3?
Anyone that you should bring in for round 3?
Yes, or is it good to stick with this for now, or a better goalkeeper you think I should bring in, or a better defender? My striker, should I finally give in and bring in Oshimen? What do you think?
You've got Kudus in, good. I don't think Mane will play, or I don't think he will start. So maybe take out Mane.
Right, so just bench him for now, right?
Yeah. Let's see, the rest of the team. The rest of the team looks. Do you have the rest of the team looks good.
This is the bench here.
I'd bring in Marmouche.
Yes, of course.
Because I have a feeling that he will score, or at least get an assist. So I'd bring in Marmouche for Ayu.
Okay. Well, we can make these changes right now really quickly. So I'll do that right now. So this is how we're doing it. Ayu for Marmouche for now. I'll even leave him as the first slot. We'll save that team. Now you were saying, if Mane does not play, there's a high chance what happens, they will swap, right? But I have 2 free transfers, so I can probably, if Tau does not perform in this one, I will get rid of Tau, bring in someone strong, and I can switch up there. But what I can do is probably start Ayu for Mane just for now, or I can leave him on in case he plays, so I still get his points. But for now, I will leave it as this for now, and I could always change this up later. So I'll leave. So that's my team selection there right now. I will, of course, and I will captain Bunaja from Algeria. I think that's a no-brainer. He has to play, so I will captain Baghdad Bunaja, and I will leave the vice captaincy. I'll put on Kudus this time. I think that's a good shout. Right, and that's it there. So let me just call out quickly. So of course, my fantasy team going forward for round 3. So far, we may do a late team selection show tonight, maybe. Owono in goal. Of course, he's facing against Ivory Coast. Hosai from Morocco, Kabori from Burkina Faso, Hakimi from Morocco. He has been on fire in this tournament, having a great tournament so far, great returns. Kessie, of course, doing solid as well. Tao is going to be on display later today. Kudus with a brace so far. Kamuri consistently scoring and bringing in returns. Mamouche, again, consistently scoring, bringing in returns. Bunaja and Ayu up top. And Bunaja is my captain. So we'll see how this one plays off. That brings us to the end of our stream. Does this round two, Latimus, change your predictions for who's going to go all the way? I want to give me a prediction for the match of who's the finals. What match is the final? It's a wild question. But I just want to know off the cuff, based on round two. It will change in round three, of course, but who is your finals?
I actually don't know. For me, I want to see the all the group games played, so I know who's out and I know how the brackets lie for the knockout rounds.
Okay, so asking round three. Asking this in round three. All right.
Yeah, after round three, and we know how the brackets lie, then we can start doing predictors of who makes.
But your favorites to win the tournament so far has not changed.
I mean, yeah, Senegal.
Right.
Aside from Senegal, I don't know. Cape Verde impressed me, but I don't know. Realistically, how far will they actually go? If they meet Senegal in the quarterfinals, then they're knocked out. You know. Right. So I don't. So as much as they impress me and they're an underdog story, I don't know how far they will actually go. Yeah. Again, Burkina Faso, they impress me. I think they can knock out. They can knock out potentially one of the favorites in the knockout rounds. Who else? I mean, I don't want to say Nigeria. I don't want to say Nigeria.
You never know.
They need to get their act together. Mali, again, they impress me. I think they can go far. But it's just, in terms of the traditional favorites, Senegal are the only team that actually look like they want to win this tournament. Everyone else has problems. Nigeria can't score goals consistently. Cameroon are a complete mess all around. You know, Algeria, they don't look cohesive. Morocco look brilliant defensively, but can't score consistently. Egypt and Ghana, they both haven't even qualified yet, so we don't know. Yeah. So there's a lot of question marks. But I think the third group game will really start telling a lot.
Well, what we will do, Latimus, of course, based on your scheduling. So the last game of round three is set for Wednesday, and the knockout round starts on Saturday. So potentially we could do a show where we have all the information on Thursday, our usual time. We could link up on this coming Thursday. We'll have all the information. We can set up a map and predict. We'll know who's facing who in the knockout rounds, and then we could also do a map out to the final base. We could do our predictions like that now. So we'll have we have a better understanding and a clear view of who's in the knockout rounds, all the games that have been played, and then we could do a nice preview of the knockout rounds that take place on Saturday. We know that Cape Verde's game will be on Monday. That's the scheduling that has been done so far. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, we will do another review and preview there. So we'll see you guys on Thursday. Of course, look out for a quick fantasy segment later where I based on all the information, everything that's taking place, I will do a team selection, hopefully with Kevin, my co-host. But of course, guys, we hope that you're enjoying the tournament so far. Latimus, any closing words before we sign off?
No, I just really want to say, I hope everyone's been enjoying tournament of AFCON so far. Actually, a question, I have for you.
Sure.
What's your opinion of the variation of goals that have been scored this tournament?
Yes. Well, as I said, I think for especially someone who's watching for the first time, not me, but of course, other people who are watching for the first time, I think that they'll be very much excited. The goals have been very exciting, especially from way out. There have been some brave shots as the English like to say, speculative efforts from outside the box and the scoring. And of course, sometimes these shots, if they're not good, and the keepers haven't put down some good saves as well, but there have been some very good goals, especially some goals, some great build-up. We saw Cape Verde's goal had some decent build-up. Morocco, good build-up. There's some teams with some nice tiki-taka passing and some great individual display. And I like what you said, is there has been quite a wide range of variety, even from set pieces. See some good goals scoring from corners as well. So there's always something exciting. You never know what kind of goal is going to be scored or who's going to step up and score the goal. You've seen a variety in also the type of players. A lot of defenders showing that they are very clinical in front of goal and not just with their head. Because typically when you hear defenders score a goal, it's with his head. But they have been very good on their feet, do anything, and even with penalties. A lot of defenders are taking penalties. If you all don't know, there have been a few of the defenders taking penalties. I think it was a defender for Nigeria who took the penalty instead of Osherman.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that there's diversity in the type of goals that are coming from different positions. Because of course, as you said, some teams are suffering because of that. Nigeria is suffering because if Osherman doesn't score, no one scores. If Salah doesn't score, no one scores. But we've seen other players from other teams step up and take the mantle. And if you see a team win 4-0 or score 3 goals, there's diversity in the goals in terms of the positions that are scored. So I'm very impressed with that. And it bodes well for Africa and their quality of football. And of course, for when these teams face other international teams on the international stage, that they can be very tricky and the goals will come from anywhere. So it's great to see that. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah, that's been my question, because I saw people talking about the collection of goals being scored so far, and the tournament's nowhere near being, we're not even halfway through yet. So that's just a question that I had that I wanted to ask.
Yeah, of course, yeah, man. So of course, guys, I want to just thank my host, Latimus, of course, from Nigeria, based in London. Of course, Latimus, before we go, just plug in what your channel, what you do, quick plug, let's go.
Check me out on Sarcasm City TV. We've been doing AFCON content, so watch alongs every day. We just did a watch along for Morocco versus Congo. Tomorrow we'll be doing Guinea-Bissau versus Nigeria, and nice. I think we will do the Ghana game as well. At least I want to do both. So definitely tune in. Follow me on Twitter, Latimus Prime, and you'll know like my scheduling and stuff of what's going on.
All right, solid. And to answer the question everyone's asking, how many goals have been scored in AFCON? 57 goals, guys, so far. And Bunaja is the top scorer with 3 goals. One joint top scorer, and Sui and Bunaja top scorers with 3 goals each. So solid there so far. All right, guys. So we're signing off. Look out for a quick a quick AFCON fantasy show later. If not, you can just look at the end of this one. I'll try and timestamp it where I just did a quick team selection, but we'll go through and do a deep dive of the players that are doing well. So look out for that later. Of course, the rounds start tomorrow. And of course, there's action still going on today. Tanzania playing Zambia right now, and then of course South Africa chasing their first 3 points of the tournament later today. So happy picking. I hope you're enjoying the AFCON content, and of course enjoying the tournament so far. It's been brilliant so far. Goals galore, entertainment galore, and of course the fans in the stadiums, colorful, brilliant. I'm loving the vibes in the stands. Very interested. Theatrics and celebrations. I don't think any other tournament could compare to what AFCON brings in terms of the fans and the different colors and diversity and just different traditions that they bring to the stadium. Amazing. So I want to thank my guest Latimus and thank you all for watching. Please continue to drop a like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us. We are trying to be the top fantasy content channel on YouTube. Of course, we do it all. F1 coming up just now, so we look out for some previews in that as well. Right? Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care.